So you've probably been working pretty hard up to this point to learn how to play the saxophone. You've been doing all the right things, practicing your tone, practicing your technique by playing the scale, practicing your articulation, all the things you need to practice. You learned about rehearsal techniques and etiquette. Now, I think you're ready to start working on a more sophisticated piece of music. I'm going to talk a little bit about the composer of this music, and then I'll play it for you, and later on we'll start working on it. The piece we're going to be working on is known as Ode to Joy, and it's an excerpt from Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Now, Beethoven was one of the world's greatest all-time composers of classical music. He composed 9 symphonies. They are all great masterpieces. He was what they would call a genius. Very melodic, very accessible to the mainstream population, just great melodies that he wrote. This piece is a great example of that, his Ode to Joy. Now, the interesting thing about Beethoven is that he was so entrenched in music that at the end of his life, he went deaf, yet he could still compose a masterpiece symphony because he could hear music in his head. He didn't need to have the ears working in order for him to hear notes. He actually had them all in his head. He could listen, and from his years of listening, could actually remember notes and how they should sound and how notes sound together and how instruments sound together. So this is a wonderful piece, and Beethoven, again, was one of the great composers. Now I'm going to perform this piece for you. First I'm going to play it completely straight, no dynamics, just straight up meat and potatoes saxophone just so you can hear how it goes. And then the second time I'll play it with some dynamics so you can really get a sense of what the potential of this piece can have. Now that was just primarily one dynamic level. I tried to play the piece as even as I could. Not a lot of style, but just good saxophone playing with my airstream going through the saxophone, good posture, making a good tone, but not using a lot of musicality or expressiveness on that. Now this next run through, I'm going to try to be much more expressive and use dynamics to make it more interesting. And you'll hear the difference. You'll hear it make it sound a big difference when I do that. More musical, more interesting for the listener. Here it goes.